Hello YouTube, yeah. At
Hello.
you went undefeated today playing what?
Haha, I'm still summoning Aluber the Goober.
Aluber the Goober.
Yeah.
And then, by the way, this is post banless because our area decided to play post banless because everyone got tired of losing, getting the zones lost, right?
Yeah,
So
funny
this-
enough, I didn't change much.
We can assume the one card that will not be in your main deck.
Maybe, right?
Maybe, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is Despia post banless, right?
Alrighty.
Alright, let's see your main deck. 40 cards or no?
40.
40, perfect 40. Alright, let's see your main deck.
So there's Aluber the Goober. Best card, right? Right? I want everybody to say it.
No, you're by
Better
yourself.
than all the cash cards.
Whoa.
Play the one of Tragedy. The one of Quim. And this is basically it for the Despia monsters. I'm not playing the ad lib. It honestly never comes up to where I want to do that combo anymore. And Quim alone kind of just cycles back the Mirror Jade. So I feel it's a little unnecessary to add in another card that kind of does nothing. It's a little redundant. 2 Albaz, not 3, because I feel like it doesn't ever come up. So whenever you use Quim or you have, yeah, basically just the Quim, and you're dropping something other than Corteza, most cases you can always just drop the Albion, and then if it ever actually comes up to where you need the Albaz, you just use Albion to drop Albaz, and it just works as the third name. It never really comes up to have the actual third Albaz. 2 Corteza. So I play the 2 because occasionally I'll banish 1 copy if I'm forced to play her effect earlier, and it'll come up to like make Sanctifier. So that being the case, sometimes it's just better to have that second one. It'll happen more often since you see a lot of hand traps. She's really good. And there's other interactions, but I'll get to that. The one of Mercurier. The only 2 bestials you need in the main. And then obviously we go back to Dragoon. Dragoon puts in work, and that's another reason you want to play a higher count of Corteza. She allows you to hard make Dragoon. I like that card. Remaining nibs. I feel like there's not a deck that can basically make a solid board without having to play into nib. And even if they do, I would rather have this in hand, because if they play into it, it's more of like a deterrent. I'm not going to get just full comboed on without them having to worry about a nib. So.
Okay.
And then still playing Droll. I feel like every deck really adds a lot still, so I'm
Probably still keep it in the main deck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Double Ash. It's effective when you know what to Ash. Mainly it's in here for my crossout, so I would rather not get ashed. I am still playing Gimmick Puppet. I'm not fully intent on ending on a board where I am locking them. It's more of a, if I need to crack a board and it may have cost me too much card economy and I have the option to, or if they force Corteza early, you can basically go into Sanctifier like I was saying, and then drop Puppet and then lock them. There's
It's like
avenues.
you still have a walking explosion.
Kinda, right? The 3 opening. Yeah, I remember when I hated this card and I wanted to drop it to like 1, but that was before Quim existed. I love that card. 3 Branded Fusion. The heart and soul of this deck.
You're an ulti soon. You gonna get them?
Oh yeah. Honorary Branded.
3 deployment.
Yep. Card's crazy. Helps you play around hand traps, mainly the ones that target. And funny enough, sometimes you can OTK with it if you bust out a bunch of bestials and then you summon Dark Magician. It's kind of
Oh
fun.
yeah, you just, oh my god.
Yeah. They're all 25, so it's a lot of damage. This lets me play the game.
Oh my god. Very cross up.
Yeah. Like I said, lets me play the game. The honorary branded card. It's branded Called by the Grave. Foolish. It'll obviously send in my puppet and get me started with very...
With locking them out of the game.
No. In red, this is the one that needed the ulti. It needs a starlight, or it needs a secret. One of those bumps. This card is so crazy. It adds back to hand. I can take a Uber back, normal summon it, and get branded fusion again. This card's crazy. This card needs an ulti too.
Yeah, that card's actually... It's probably going to OTS too, but that card's ridiculous.
Yeah, so funny enough, I just bodied a Deneb because I had a Biscule in hand. So on their turn, I summoned the Biscule. It was Magna Mutt. So he put up a board, then he makes his Pleiades, and then it's Deneb Pleiades. So I use my Magna Mutt, crash with the Pleiades so he can't bounce anything, activate Lost, and then I normal summon Albaz, take the Deneb, and I'm like, well, I got board control now. And then I proceed to win the game.
Or no, it wasn't Deneb, it was Diamond.
Oh, Diamond, yeah.
Yeah, it was Diamond.
Yeah. That one, the
yeah.
one that says I can't
remember
play.
You summoned Albaz's effect, and they can't Diamond because...
It negates activation.
Yeah.
That card is crazy. And then, Retribution. This card puts in so much work.
It gets back your fusion.
Well, no. So a lot of the times I'm actually ending on this more so than I am red. So it comes up a lot to where you can stop Biscules. You can also stop, what's it called? Mirror matches. You want to end with something like this and this. And so even if you get ashed or they hit you with Biscules and you still end with this, you completely stop them from playing for 2 turns. So you just call fusion and then you stop the fusion. They kind of just die.
No, you're extra deck.
Alright. So, double Mirror Jade, no surprise there. Single Lubellion. This card's still pretty crazy. I love it because anytime somebody thinks they're going to hit you with Shifter or something, you kind of just drop that card and they're like, well, I tried. Albion, still one of the craziest cards in this game. Gives you access to the whole deck. Card's insane. Titanclad got so much better with Quem. So I'm sending this more so than I do the new Synchro, because it's easier to send off of all the cards that do send from the extra deck, and it does the same thing. And it still allows me to get access to the Synchro without playing multiples of it, because I like using the Synchro. I think it's pretty good. It's like having access to Dramaturge, but on command. Renrum, I never really use this card anymore, but I do use it against Cash. It's either this or Dragoon, and it basically outs their board. It's pretty relevant in those situations. Sprint is cool because now you use a lot of Albaz to Super Poly on your opponent's turn. This is the generic Super Poly target, so I can take anything off your board as long as you special summon it that turn. The card's kind of insane now. Expulsion 2.0.
Yeah.
The card's crazy. You can still loop Mirror Jade. So this and Quem get you 3 Mirror Jade activations basically in 1 turn. Kind of sick. This card, being another starter for the deck, was probably what the deck needed the most. The card's insane.
Yeah, that's right. Good.
Like I said, I actually like to use this one
Lulu.
more so than just send it. Having that negate to negate almost anything on board really comes in handy, plus the extra 500 damage that sticks really just ends games. Another game ender, also prevents me from getting OTK'd. All that random damage that my opponent can put on board means absolutely nothing, and then I can just bring out an Albaz if they out it, and then make sprint. Crazy. Chimera still ends games. And then this Despia. So I get hit with a lot of random books, and around that time you just chain your Mirror Jade, you banish something random, you activate your Quem brings back the Corteza, use the Corteza and the Mirror Jade, then go into your Draco's Despia, and then all the Xyz decks basically die to Despia because it changes them to a level 1, and it's kind of an FTK on its own. And then we have Dragoon.
The
Dragoon's the big boss.
Yeah. Alright, now your side deck.
Side deck
do you think this will change though? Like as the format progresses and maybe things change? Or do you like your side deck?
I think the side deck might stick. I feel like it encompasses a lot of the possible decks that you will run into, and I think it's just very strong.
Okay.
So
Let's see it.
it's gonna be the extra Biscules. So this is gonna kill basically the mirror, and then it also helps in trap matchups because you have big bodies that you can just swing for damage. Essentially, the trap matchups just try and stun you, obviously with like D barrier and such. But the more you have the Biscules, the harder it is for them to put damage onto you, and it also allows you to buy that time to get through their trap lineup. Then it's 2 of the Kaiju. The Kaiju is really just for if I run into Pearly.
That's it.
That's kind of it. Yeah, like there's no other reason for me to side it in. I would rather have Biscules in like almost any situation. This is for combo decks. If I feel like my hand traps aren't good enough, I'll probably just play that. Then we have talents. If I think I'm gonna get hand trapped to sleep, I'll play talents. I will check your hand, see if you have any starters that I can knock out, and I will beat you from there. I do not like to play against trap decks, so I will banish everything. And then I will set up a board and tell you good luck.
Good luck.
And then this is actually a really good card. So into just about any matchup outside of the mirror, you basically auto-win just flipping this card. So if I feel like I need to prepare to be hand trapped to sleep, I will side in these and then those, and I will take out your starter and or try to keep you locked until I can start again and beat you from there. It will be my game and we will play at my pace. But that's why I think for the most part the side deck will stick.
Okay. Alright, well thank you, Adam. Congratulations on your placement tonight. Anything else you want to say about your deck?
Well, you know, Despia is the best deck.
Striker best thing?
Striker is a pretty solid deck.
All
That's
right.
David, Striker King.
Alright, well thank you, Adam. Have a good night. Oh, and subscribe, right? Yeah, subscribe.